Okay, when I saw the story, I really felt so sad. A lot of women are going through it. They get to have divorced their husbands and they regret it. Usually, they act on the present pain. They don't think long term. So this story is coming from HL Talk That Thought. It's titled Woman Leaves Two Marriages by 32. Imagine being married twice at the age of 32 and you are 32. Like, it just sounds funny. And instantly, woman leaves two marriages by 32 and instantly regrets it. Women hitting the wall. Let's quickly check this out together.
It sucks. It can suck in the moment to choose yourself and to choose growth, because this is something that happens a lot when you choose to heal and when you choose growth and yourself over anything else. But unfortunately, I'm not immune to it. When I'm going through it like I am right now, I feel so deeply, desperately alone, and I feel like I'm the only person that's going through this, and all the voices start. And what I'm referring to is the bitterness that you can feel in growth.
Welcome back, family. I honestly don't even know where to start with this 32-year-old woman who already has 2 divorces under her belt. I mean, the things that will come out of this woman's mouth will absolutely blow your mind. Let's first hear why her marriages didn't work and everything that is wrong with her from her own mouth.
Feeling like I was bad or broken or wondering what is wrong with me are the earliest self-talk memories that I have. And it's only in the last couple of years that I've realized that that may not be normal. I have vivid memories of writing in my journal everything that was wrong with me. My childhood was full of trauma, drama, abuse, just general terribleness, combined with the fact that now I know that I had ADHD, and I didn't find that out until I was 30.
Wow.
So I spent years masking and trying to show up to hide all the shame, blame, and guilt that I felt. I would just work harder in front of people and then just tear myself down harder when people weren't looking. And I thought I was like holding all the pieces together until my life imploded and I was handed my second set of divorce papers when I had a very small child. So now I'm a single toddler mom with 2 divorces under her belt, self-tears thinking like, what do I do now? Because everything that I had tried, all the coping mechanisms, trying to find the right one, going to therapy, being a yoga teacher, doing Reiki, like none of that stuff kept the train from running into the wall. Until I found the emotion code, and that was the missing link that put everything together for me. A way to work with energy and unlock trauma in the body. Because I didn't realize that trying to run from my emotional baggage wasn't going to work, and that even though I tried to ignore it, it was still going to sabotage me, and boy did it ever. But I thought that I had dealt with all my stuff or knew about all my stuff, and I didn't, because the body remembers so much more than we remember. So using the emotion code allowed me to identify the parts of me and the trauma that was still locked inside my body that was causing me to self-sabotage and have all these yucky feelings and behaviors. And now by working on it and releasing it, I'm finally able to step into that life that I really want and feel safe in my body and feel secure in my life without just waiting for the other shoe to drop or feeling like I'm just a terrible human being.
This woman is lying about her past trauma to get sympathy like most of them do. She didn't have any significant childhood trauma in her life, and I will prove it to you in this next clip. Pay attention to how she is going to describe her upbringing.
Tell me your life story in 1 sentence. Go.
No one was more surprised than I when the good girl raised at the height of purity culture ends up being a twice divorced single mom by age 32.
Yes, she is your typical rebellious girl that comes from a good family. What she calls trauma is actually the family rules to follow. The only reason she is painting herself as the victim is to convince other women to follow her because she wants to be a life coach.
This sounds like you, I'd love to help. I'm an emotion code practitioner and I help women release trauma from their bodies. All starts with a free consult call that you can schedule at the link in my bio.
I mean, how can you be a life coach when you are struggling to get out of bed by yourself? I am pretty sure that her laziness is one of the main reasons both her marriages didn't work out. Now, before the sweet tears, we will watch one more clip that will demonstrate to you how she will try to justify her jealousy and past mistakes during her marriage, instead of taking full responsibility of her actions by using her newly discovered book, The Emotion Code. I apologize in advance for all the nonsense that will come out of this woman's mouth, but it is important for you to listen to it, because that is the type of you are going to hear when you agreed to go with your woman to therapy. I mean, the knowledge is good, but the way these women twist this knowledge to fit their narrative is amazing. Let's watch.
I just left Mass with my ex-husband and my baby, and I feel super triggered. My name's Jessie. I'm a divorced single mom and emotion code practitioner. Spent the last 18 months healing my emotional trauma. Still have moments like this. Typically, I like to come on here very polished with something really thought-provoking and educational to tell you, but today, I'm just gonna keep it real. As I was driving to Target, I was just thinking, like, what am I gonna do with these thoughts and feelings? Because I know that the yucky stuff has been activated in seeing my ex today. So I had two choices. I could either sit in those feelings of inadequacy and grief and loss and low self-worth, or I could remind myself that I am human, I'm going to have emotions, and I can acknowledge those emotions and pass them through my body. And for the ones that I'm just not sure of, like, what is this feeling? It's a yucky feeling, but I just don't know what it is. So I can use the emotion code to help me figure out, like, what is this feeling I'm feeling? So let's do that right now. So I'm going to use muscle testing to ask my body, what is this yucky feeling that's sitting inside my heart right now? Is it in column A? No. Is it B? Yes. Is it even? No. Is it an odd row? Yes. Is it B1? No. B3, B31, B32, B33. Let's go see what B33 is. Okay, so looking at the chart, we see that it's bringing up grief. Today I'm being triggered, and grief is what my body is experiencing right now. I'm going to use the Reiki and emotion code release to swipe over the governing meridian. I can feel a little bit emotional as that left, but I did feel like I could breathe a little bit better. And so that tells me that that energy is moving, and you just have to acknowledge that emotion and let it pass through you to fully process it. During trauma, you don't get to fully process it, and so it gets stopped and it gets stuck in the body. So now that I have an idea of what emotionally is going on, I'm going to work on my thoughts. So I could sit there and be like, wow, Jessie, you really effed up. Like, look at the life that you could have had. Or I can remember that there's a reason that relationship did not work out, and I'm going to leverage the mistakes of my past to optimize the future that I want. And I'm going to knock this day out of the park, and I'm going to go do something that feels good. And right now, that's to walk around Target with a coffee.
Enough of this nonsense. Now it's time for some more regrets and sweet tears of loneliness.
Today's video is going to be much different than my usual stuff for you. Typically, I like to teach from my scars and not my open, festering wounds, but this one's a little different because this is something that happens a lot when you choose to heal and when you choose growth and yourself over anything else. And I know that my clients go through this. I see them go through this, and it felt really important for you to know that I go through it too. And that this is why I refuse to let you back down. I refuse to buy your excuses and your stories because I live it too. I'm just a little bit further down the path, and I'm just up here saying, like, come on, keep going. But unfortunately, I'm not immune to it. And what I'm referring to is the bitterness that you can feel in growth. Because there's often a lot of grief, a lot of letting go, and a lot of opportunities for you to choose what you know you need to choose. But now that you're on the path of healing, you are choosing to listen to that voice instead of just ignoring it or rebelling against it. And I have spent the better part of my life rebelling against it and choosing to deny myself in the hopes of feeling worthy and feeling love and feeling safe, and it always backfires on you. So when you're in that time, and maybe you're in it right now, I just wanted to make this so that you know you're not alone, because when I'm going through it like I am right now, I feel so deeply, desperately alone, and I feel like I'm the only person that's going through this, and all the voices start. And I wish that I would scroll across a video like this where it just says, it sucks. It can suck in the moment to choose yourself and to choose growth. But if you're doing it for a reason, and now is not the time to back down from it. Even though it feels really tempting to just say, fine, this is enough. Like, look at all the work I've done. I'm good here. Because that's really what I want to do in this moment, is I just want to say, nope, enough is enough. Like, we're good here. Like, look at all that I've done. This should be enough. But deep down, you and I both know that it's not. So if you're in a place of feeling bitter or angry or frustrated that you have to do so much work to heal and to grow, and it just feels like you keep getting knocked down, no matter how much you try, it just keeps getting harder and you're just sick of it, I'm not going to tell you to be strong. I'm not going to tell you that there's an amazing, transformed, amazing version of you on the other side of this, because honestly, I don't want to hear that right now, so you probably don't either. So just for today, all I'm going to say is, I see you.
Most women don't really believe that they were at fault at any point in their lives. They always believe that they are the victim. That is why they always go full circle to crying in their emotions, thinking that they are making any progress. The first step of growth is to recognize your mistakes and flaws and start working on them with absolutely no excuses. I definitely don't see this attitude in most women. So fellas, stay far away from the perpetual victim woman, because she will suck all the positive energy you have in you. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow. I love you and I appreciate you for all your support. Please feel free to like, subscribe.
I know that this particular channel, centers on men's mental health, because if you go out there today, nobody's speaking to the men. Nobody's telling them, oh, I see your pain. Everybody seems to support the woman. When a marriage breaks up, it's usually the woman everybody rallies to. She's crying, you're pitying her. Just like when we started watching this video, I kind of feel her pain. I'm not even going to lie. Imagine at 32, you're already divorced twice. You obviously would think you are the problem, because why can't you just see that you also have a problem? Because you've done it twice. So I really feel her pain. She's still a very young woman and she has a kid, so that even makes it more difficult. So I kind of feel her pain. But the thing is, just like he said, the first way to actually healing is, before we even get to the point of heartbreak and heartbreaks and divorce and all of those things, I think one of the first problem is we do not usually know ourselves. A lot of women and even men do not. So let me direct my concerns to the women, because it's a woman's situation here. A lot of women do not really know themselves. They just say, oh, I fell in love with this person and we just want to get married. You need to understand yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to heal if you've gone through any sort of trauma. It's not a bad thing to visit a therapist if you feel like a part of your life is. That's why I strongly recommend counseling. It might come off as a religious thing to do, but it is so important. Seeing a counselor before you get married is very important. Then you will even realize that you also have a kind of trauma that you have not really dealt with. You look through now she had to live 2 marriages for her to realize that she has been through a lot of traumas while growing up. She went through so much while growing up. She had to go through 2 marriages, 2 marriage breakups, for her to understand and realize that something had happened in the past that is triggering, that is making her to make mistakes in her future. So these things are very important. If you do not deal with the foundational problem, which is actually healing, which is actually knowing yourself, knowing who you are, what your worth is, knowing your triggers, knowing your boundaries, knowing who you are, your characters, knowing what you want in a man in your marriage, you will have a problem. And another one way to, just like he said, is one way to actually heal and get over a divorce or whatever it is actually to know yourself and understand yourself. Know your faults in this breakup. I mean, it wouldn't have been only one person's fault. You both must have collaborated to bringing that marriage to a pause or to stop. Do you understand? So that's the only way to grow. What do you guys think about this video? What do you think about women or people that have to go through the hard patches to that come out as counselors, as therapists? Oh my god, the silliest thing I saw on about this video was when she was saying you that thing she was doing like this, and she was like, oh I was like, what is this? If you have a problem, you visit a counselor. Look it, what is that? I don't understand. So please, if you understand that thing she did or whatever she thinks she was doing there, please explain in the comment section. Okay, I don't want to sound funny, I don't want to sound somehow, but I mean, I couldn't understand what all of that was. I mean, women, we need to be more realistic. I know that a lot of times we live in a world of, a world of our own where we fantasize a lot, but sometimes we have to be realistic when it comes to real life situations like this. Okay, I mean, I feel sad for her, but I really love to know what you guys think about this video. Okay, so please drop your thoughts in the comment section. Do want to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. Do not skip my ads. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.